Welcome to a new update, and today we're going to discuss Bitcoin and Ethereum as those have been making some movements during the weekend and those have been coming down back again too. What we're going to discuss today is where are we looking at with those prices, and also later today at 5:30 Central European Time we're going to have a live stream once again. Every week I'm live on Monday 5:30 Central European Time. But before we're going to continue, do not forget to check out my Twitter and Instagram beneath, subscribe beneath too, like this YouTube update, and don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter as we're starting off this week today with a new fresh product, which is the newsletter. The first 3 issues are free, so do not forget to check that out in the link that is in the pinned reply beneath and also in the description. What we're looking at with the price movements of Bitcoin is that we've had a beautiful breakout during Saturday, or at least we've had a beautiful bounce, which went all the way towards 60k. But given the fact that the price has been making the movement during the weekend, I always remain a bit more cautious as the price often comes down all the way back towards the price before it started to break out, or the price before the weekend, as the CME gap is often getting closed at the moment that the new weekly candle starts, which is the case right now, as price has been dropping down swiftly all the way back towards the level before the actual weekend started, as we can see on the CME chart, which is BTC1. You can see that the weekly closed last week at 57.8, and right now we've had closed that entire level already, through which we do not have a CME gap left anymore and we can continue moving with the markets. But where are we heading right now? That is the obvious question that we're looking at. And when we're looking at the price action of Bitcoin, we can conclude that we're still trending south, given the fact that not only based on the drop for the CME gap, we've also rejected a resistance zone here. So when we're looking at the price action of Bitcoin overall, we can see that this level at 60k was pretty remarkable to keep as support in the previous period when the market was running upwards. And we can also see that when we can't really break above that level once again, it turns resistance, which is currently the fact. And then we've got another bearish support resistance flip, which might result in a further corrective move of the markets, which is taking place at this point. So what are the levels that we're looking at for support at this stage for the markets? Well, given the fact that Bitcoin has just been dropping south from that 60k level, it does not seem unlikely that we're going to test lower levels before we can continue moving at all. And when we're looking at higher time frames, the conclusion can be drawn that the support level is found around this block here. So anything in this block is very important to keep in your mind as a potential support zone. We've discussed that previously. When that is lost, we're going to look at the level around 50k for the potential higher low in this entire case. But we're just still chopping around, which means that I think we're just going to have a longer chop. We might be getting a scenario where we drop back to support, make a bounce, test another time, and then we continue moving. Do not look at the time scale because of the fact that I'm just showing it and I can't do it within the weeks. But I would not be surprised if we get such a run in which we retest support, bounce back up, make another drop, just like this structure here, before we're going to have a new bull run taking off in Q1 of 2022. At this stage, I'm still remaining relatively cautious when it comes to Bitcoin. Why is that? Well, to be honest, the price action has just been rejecting 60k, which is not an indication of often showing strength. I think we're going to have some retest around the lows, and then the question becomes how strong support will be, in which we can continue moving towards the upper regions. Crucial levels to break through are still the same. 60k, 63k are still the levels that I'm currently watching if we want to see any breakout taking place on the markets at this point. When we're looking at Ethereum against Bitcoin, it's actually showing strength while the rest is showing weakness. Layer 1's overall doing great. We've seen that before. AVAX, eGold, all are doing great. Harmony is also starting to wake up heavily. Ethereum against Bitcoin is still showing this pennant, and it has made a beautiful bounce from this first support level, in which we're currently starting to face the higher region of this pennant. I would not be surprised if we get a structure like this, in which we're going to make another run to make that high, make a fake out above the previous resistance, and then have a final correction before we're starting to break out after January into Q1 of 2022, in which we're going to have the biggest alt season ever. What are the levels to watch for Ethereum against Bitcoin? Quite simple. It's the level that we've got here, which is currently the area around the bullish pennant, or the highs around the bullish pennant. If that is not going to break, I think we're going to have a fake out, and then we have to wait until we break out. Ethereum against USDT pretty much followed the scenario, right? But the levels that we were watching here also rejected, as you can see. So most likely we're going to have another drop in which we test the support, just like Bitcoin has been doing, as right now we're just in the middle of two levels, resistance, support, and that is usually no trade area. That's the short update for today. I'll be back later today with the live stream to answer all your questions, discuss news and the market movements. So do not forget to subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you again later today.